Hi, welcome to this review of the all-new Samson Go Mic Mobile. This is a 2-channel wireless microphone system designed to use with your smartphone. I'm recording this with the Go Mic Mobile with the handheld microphone. There's also a lavalier microphone, but I got the handheld, so I can mainly try to tell you something about my experience with the handheld microphone. This is the first wireless solution, I think, to use with your mobile phone without too much hassle. You don't need converter cables from XLR to 3.5mm to Lightning or whatever. You just can plug in the receiver into your phone. Some things about the handheld microphone, and then especially about the audio quality of the handheld microphone. This microphone is really sensitive. You can hear that when I make movements like this. Also, when I'm holding the microphone with my hand, when I change the position of my hand, you'll hear that, and you'll hear a lot of pop noises. So I'll always advise you to use a windshield or pop filter when you use this microphone. With this windshield, the pop noises should be a lot better, and while I don't use the windshield for most of this review, I really advise you to use this microphone with a windshield. So now I'm going to switch microphones so we can have a look at the receiver. This is the receiver, and as you can see, it's not that big. It's like the form of a credit card, but then a very thick credit card. And because of this form factor, it's pretty easy to mount it onto your iPhone grip, or depending on the gimbal you use, even onto a gimbal for a true stabilized wireless solution. The cool thing about this receiver, they really thought about this, is that you can mount it in a lot of different ways. There is a cold shoe adapter at the bottom, so you can use it maybe on top of your grip, depending on what grip you have, but you can also use it with clamps to mount the receiver onto your phone. These clamps are designed pretty well, they work fairly easy. You can just turn this knob and you can make the clamp bigger or smaller. You can fit your phone, turn the knob back on, and it's tightened. And this thing won't go anywhere. On the bottom there's this thingy with a screw, so you can screw the receiver and the phone onto a tripod or anything else with a screw. There is also a version without a screw mount, so you can change those, or you can even remove this thing or the whole clamps at all if you want to use it with a cold shoe. But you don't want to change this too many times. This thing at the bottom, you can unscrew this to very small screws. You need a small screwdriver for that, but those screws are not too well built. After a couple of times it gets really hard to remove those screws and get them back in, so I'm already looking for some replacement screws. But on the other hand, you don't want to normally change this stuff too much, because the ideal thing about this Samson Go Mic Mobile is that you can take it with you, just mount it and go without too much preparation time. Let's look at the cables. There's a Lightning cable included for your iPhone and your iPad, but also cables for USB-C and micro USB Android devices, and also a 3.5mm cable, so you can use it with a headphone jack input as well, or you can connect the Go Mic Mobile via this cable to DSLRs or any other recording device. Now let's have a better look at the receiver. There's this knob to tighten and untighten the grip. There is this power button in the middle. You can just press it and then the power is on. It's easy as that. There's a button on top. You can change which channels you want to monitor on your headphones. This is for the volume. You can change that as well. And this is cool. It's actually a 2-channel system, so you can use this with 2 microphones simultaneously. Let's say a handheld microphone for yourself and a lavalier microphone for the person you're interviewing, or 2 lavalier mics or 2 handheld mics. That's all possible. And when you have 2 microphones connected, you can choose if you want to mix the signal, so they get into your phone as one signal with both microphones, or you can switch it to 2 channels. And that means one microphone is panned to the left and the other microphone is panned to the right. And on your phone, you have actually two channels then with two microphones. And apps like LumaFusion, for example, on iPhone can recognize that stereo audio channel, make two channels, two mono channels of it, so you can separately edit the volume of your both microphones. So that's very ideal when you want to do an interview. Finally, you can record your own questions and the person you're interviewing wirelessly and edit those independent of each other. So let's go back to the wireless microphone transmitter. As I said, I have the handheld version, so this is a handheld microphone. It's not recording right now, so I can show you some things. To put it on, just press the on button, and when both devices are on, the buttons get green. Once you've paired the microphone and the receiver, and the pairing process was really easy, it's just a matter of pressing the button and it works. You can open the handheld microphone. You see two batteries inside, just normal AA batteries. And there is this little gain knob, and you can change the gain inside the microphone with it. There is also a little plastic screwdriver that's mounted inside the microphone, and you can use this to alter the gain. When I used the handheld microphone for the first time, my signal was distorting all the time, and it was not caused because of the connection with the phone, but the signal was distorting already in the transmitter, in the microphone. So I had to lower the gain inside the microphone, and now everything is fine. But this is really something you have to take care for before you go out recording for the first time, because otherwise you'll be somewhere recording stuff and see that it's all distorted afterwards. One last thing, I told you you can use the 3.5mm jack on the receiver to connect this with anything that has a 3.5mm output, but you can also use this same port to monitor the signal with headphones, and that's kind of cool. But the bad news is that it only monitors the local sound, the sound that you get from the microphone. So when you use this for a live conversation at a broadcast, you can't hear the studio or the host or the presenter or whatever with it. And also, if there goes something wrong with the recording process in the phone, you can also not monitor that. You only get the clean audio that comes from the microphone. So it's very good that you can monitor the phone, but when your gain level in the phone is set too high, so it distorts in the phone, you won't be able to hear that because you only hear the signal that comes into the receiver. But it's cool that you can use it for monitoring. And if you have an older phone like this iPhone 6, you can just use the headphone jack on the phone. But with an iPhone 7 or newer Android phones without a headphone jack, that's a bit of a problem. Some final thoughts about this Samson Go Mic Mobile. I'm really happy with it. I used it a lot in the last week, and I'm sure I will use it a lot in the future as well. It's the first wireless microphone system that I can use with my iPhone without too much hassle. I used some microphone systems, some wireless microphone system before, but then I also always had to use converter cables and stuff like that. And I don't want that. I just want it to be easy and I want it to be quick. If I go somewhere, I don't want to spend minutes of mounting stuff and connecting cables. So this is all fairly easy with this wireless microphone system. It's not perfect, it's far from perfect. There are some flaws, especially when it comes to the sensitivity of the handheld microphone. The gain level, I really had to tweak that. And also the mounting options, the screws, it's all not perfect. But the audio quality is good enough. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. So I can live with that for most occasions. And the price is not that high. This whole set, so that's the set of the receiver with the handheld microphone, costs about 250 euros, 250 US dollars, depending on where you buy it. So that's not really expensive for my wireless microphone system. When you want an extra transmitter, so an extra lavalier mic or an extra handheld microphone, that's another $100. But I think then still it's not expensive, so I think it's a fairly good deal. And for most cases, this is a really good wireless microphone setup. So this was my review of the Samson Go Mic Mobile. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of these reviews, this was the first, but there will be many more, please subscribe to this channel. See you next time.